just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, turn around now, turn around now. I just wanna have fun, turn around now, turn around.
Hey everyone, how are you? It's Venus. Guess what I'm going to tell you to do? Subscribe and also sign up for email updates. But most importantly, what I'm going to tell you today is about my injuries. So I don't talk a lot about my injuries because I hate complaining. And I'm just not a fan. I think a lot of athletes are injured all the time. We play through injuries a lot. But I definitely have had a significant injury that definitely hampered my summer, took me out of Wimbledon, really affected my US Open, and has me not playing any tennis competitively this fall. So with that being said, let me tell you about my injury journey. So basically it all started at Wimbledon. And I was playing on center court, back on center court after missing Wimbledon the year before. And it was so exciting. And I was so nervous too, but I played great first game, great second game, starting with, a break, and I come to the net. I'm about to hit a volley. I think I was down break point, but I had an easy volley to win it back to deuce, and I slip. And honestly, it hurt so much. I just was screaming. It hurt so bad. And I was on the ground just like, and so it stopped hurting. And I don't ever quit. I know you guys don't know this, and I'm sorry. I know that you know this. It's not that you don't know this. You know I don't quit. I play through anything. The craziest injury I've ever played through, besides this one, was a 7-centimeter tear, which is almost 3 inches in your psoas here. So psoas is kind of a muscle that attaches from the abs through to the leg, and anything you do, you feel it. So I tore my psoas in a match, kept playing 3 sets, literally screaming in the match. It was very painful. Not a lot, but like a few times. Like it just would come out. I tried to play the next match. I lasted 7 points. It just hurt too much. I was realizing I'm stifling screams. And so the next day I go get an MRI. And that's when I found out, because I'm saying, there's nothing wrong with me, just mental. It was not mental. I was out for 5 months with that one. So I will play through anything is the moral of the story, because I just don't believe in any regrets. Like, I'm going to leave it all out there. I don't want to look back and say, maybe I could have. I've got to give it all. So of course I don't give up in this match, even though I'm in a situation now where my leg is a disaster. I've lost complete confidence. I can't calm down, because I'm in pain, and it was very, very overwhelming. So I continued to play this match. I got through it, but I just couldn't even really walk the next day. And, in Wimbledon, you stay in a flat. So you rent a flat in Wimbledon. We rented a flat, and I was on the 3rd floor. So I get up once I get to the 3rd floor, that's where I had to stay. I couldn't move around more than that. So I'm like in bed. We're icing on this machine called a Game Ready, and we're doing compression on these Normatec boots, which compresses your whole leg. I get to the doctor the next day. We drain my knee, and then we inject my knee with a gel. So that gel provided I had an MRI first too. So I'm like literally hobbling. I'm like, can't really walk that well. And the MRI shows that I've just loosened cartilage, with this bang and this damage, I hyperextended and then came back down. So, I've damaged my cartilage, there's loose bodies floating around. My knee is lit up. Like if you take an MRI, an image of it, when it's lit up, it's all this white, which means it's inflammation, lots of white. It's just lit up like a Christmas tree. And so we drain the knee, we put a gel injection, and the doctor says, oh, you'll be fine in 3 weeks. So I try to get back on the court in 2 weeks. I decide to stay in Europe, and I went to Mallorca, and I thought if I go to Mallorca, then I can still play tennis, maybe at the Rafael Nadal Academy. But I was in a lot of pain still. I couldn't move, but I kept trying to train because I wanted to play Montreal, because I haven't had a chance to do that in so long, and that was my goal, is to get to Montreal. So not a lot of preparation for Montreal at all. like looking back, I'm not sure why I did that. Anyway, I continued to struggle throughout the summer with a lot of swelling, um, a lot of pain, and a general lack of preparation, inability to train my legs. When you don't train your legs, they get weak. When your legs are weak, you can't run very long. Your legs get tired. Um, a general lack of flexibility, to go into full extension. Even now, like going into full extension sometimes catches me from that injury. Um, and just not great results. I managed to win some matches in Cincinnati, but my second match that I played, I got tired because I wasn't well trained because I couldn't do the cardio. I can't do the leg strengthening. And then after the Cincinnati, my knee blew up. It just wouldn't stop swelling. I had to withdraw from Cleveland. I felt terrible about that because when I give my word, I keep it. When I said I was going to Cleveland, I meant it. And the fact that I had to withdraw, I felt miserable because that's not me. I do what I say I'm going to do. So that was really hard on me personally. I realized I was not going to be able to make the open, so I had to do something drastic. So I took a cortisone shot. I've never done cortisone shots. It's an extreme thing. It's not great for the body. It's something you can do only a few times in your lifetime. This was my first time. I waited to 43 to even think about doing a cortisone shot. That helped. But it wasn't enough time to prepare. So I decided to do this cortisone shot on Monday. The US Open started a week later. A week is not enough time to get on the court, get your practice done, get strength in your legs, develop endurance. The first couple of days after the shot, you have to take it easy. I'm ramping up. It was a very difficult and stressful time. I have to say it was the most stressful time in my career because there's so much doubt because you're not really prepared. So you don't know what result you're going to get because you just haven't done the work. So mentally, you have to be connected to your body. You can't have all this doubt when you walk out on the court. And unfortunately, I walked out with a lot of doubt. I think if I could have been in a better mental state, even with where I was physically, I could have won my match. But it was hard, and it was really hard on me losing that match. It was really a bad time. Um, and I was able to gain some perspective, and I thought, I think I want to play. I'm getting ready for this fall. And finally, I realized, like, I can't rush this. My leg is telling me, like, you can't do it. So I just finally just stopped. And that's when I got to the point. I just stopped. I had a lot of obligations that I had not planned on playing after the Open anyway, but I was going to try to make some room. I had a lot of obligations that I told that I was going to do different things that I do. Like I speak a lot, different things. I had an exhibition in Puerto Rico that I still went to. I gave my best. I don't know if it was my best tennis, but I gave my best with what I had. And a few weeks later, after the Open, maybe 4 weeks later, I woke up one day and I realized I just wasn't in the kind of pain I was in before. Like I would be in bed and my knees would just be hurting. So I had to put a pillow under my knee because if it's straight too long, it would hurt. And I can't sleep a certain way because it was hurting. So just basic things like being at pain at rest should tell you like you're not ready to play a match. But I didn't listen to that. I don't, there's been a lot of circumstances. I can't even tell you the kinds of injuries and pains that I've had that I've played through anyway and had great results. But in this case, it just wasn't going to happen and I couldn't see it. So I just had to have some honest moment with myself and just say I wasn't ready. So I took some time off. I didn't really go to the gym very much as I normally would. And I have started training again in the gym. I'm playing another exhibition very soon. A couple, so I will be there and be ready to play. I always know how to play tennis. And I'm going to take my time and be in a place where I'm physically strong with my physical conditioning. My legs are strong and I've put in the work on the court so that way I am ready. I felt like at Wimbledon, I was ready to go. I was playing great tennis. I hadn't been serving at 120 miles an hour in a long time because of some arm injuries, but I was back at my big serve and honestly just going to get better. And unfortunately, I had a fall, and that fall was shocking to me. And as I went back, after the match was over, and I sat in the locker room, and I just closed the curtain, and I was just in shock. Like, how could this happen? Like, I've worked so hard to be here, back again after injury after injury after injury, and why, how, life happens and you just got to keep going. And I thought to myself, the last thing I want to do is back in rehab. But rehab is a lot of work and it's boring and it's not fun. And I realized that I'm back in rehab again and it's boring and it's not fun. I'm going to show you guys a lot of my journey this time around. Usually I don't, but I'm going to show you what it's like and what I'm going through to be back on court. One of my big goals is to play in the United States, to play in the Miami Open and to play at Indian Wells. I have not played there since 2019 due to injuries. It's a long time. These next tournaments will be in 2024. It's a lot of years not to play at home. So that's, of course, one of my big goals on the horizon is to be there and prepared to do that, amongst many other goals on the court too. And my little sister Serena told me I'm not allowed to quit. And of course, I would never quit. But it's the mandate. She has said no. So I will be back on the court, guys. And in the meantime, I just got to go back to rehab as much as I didn't want to. That's what life has thrown at me. And I never back down. So that's where I am. I'm back in the gym getting strong. You can't see it now. My bicep game's not there right now, but it will be. We'll check back in a few weeks. You'll see it. You'll see that I'll be strong. But until that time, thank you guys for the support. If you guys want to know more about like knee injuries or any injuries you're going through, how to rehab stuff, I pretty much rehabbed my whole body, my whole life through lots of different injuries. So I've learned how to rehab and how to prevent a lot of injuries too for athletes, especially tennis players. So any questions you might have about that, I'd love to hear it. Any feedback, any encouragement, that's great too. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.